In the heart of an ancient African kingdom called Arara, ruled by traditions as old as the land itself, there lived a queen named Nala. She was renowned throughout the kingdom for her beauty, wisdom, and kind heart. Nala was wed to a noble king, Malik, whose love for her knew no bounds. Yet, despite their deep affection for each other, their union remained childless for many years. In the kingdom of Nala and Malik, there existed a dark taboo. The birth of an albino child was seen as a curse, a harbinger of doom for the kingdom. According to ancient beliefs, albino children were believed to be cursed, destined to bring about the destruction of mankind. To prevent this perceived calamity, it was customary for the albino child to be cast into the evil forest and its mother buried alive and its father banished from the land, never to be seen again. Years passed, and Nala's womb remained empty. The whispers of the court grew louder, urging Malik to take another wife to secure the kingdom's future. But Malik's love for Nala was unwavering, and he refused to entertain the idea of marrying another. Meanwhile, Queen Nala, burdened by the weight of her husband's unfulfilled desires, sought solace in the ancient rituals of her ancestors. She beseeched the spirits for guidance, offering prayers and sacrifices in the hope of blessing her womb with a child. Yet, despite her fervent pleas, the years continued to pass, leaving her heart heavy with sorrow. Then, after a decade of barrenness, a miracle occurred. Queen Nala discovered that she was with child, a long-awaited blessing that filled the palace with joy and celebration. One fateful night, Nala gave birth to a son. But joy turned to fear as the child's skin was as white as the moon, marking him as an albino. It was the first time in the history of the royal family that an albino child had been born of royal blood. Terrified of the consequences, Nala fled into the depths of the forest, clutching her precious son to her chest. But fate had other plans, and she was soon discovered by the kingdom's guards and brought back to face the wrath of tradition. As she was being buried alive, Nala uttered a solemn decree that everyone who in one way or the other contributed or supported her family destruction will one day have an albino child, cursing the kingdom for its ignorance and vowing that her son would one day return to bring about change. Before she was silenced forever, Nala hid her son in the forest, hoping against hope that someone would find him and give him the chance at life he deserved. Meanwhile, in a neighboring village, a hunter named Kofi roamed the forests in search of game to provide for his family. One day, as he prowled through the underbrush, he heard the faint cries of a baby. Following the sound, he stumbled upon a sight that filled him with both wonder and dread: a small albino child, abandoned and alone. At first, Kofi hesitated, unsure of what to do as his wife was few months pregnant and wouldn't need the stress of taking care of a baby, and in his village, albino children were often seen as omens of good luck as they are used for rituals believing it will bring wealth and fortune to them. Some people go as far as buying them from neighboring villages for rituals, so he knew the dangers that awaited the child if he were to return him to his own people. However, as he looked into the child's eyes, filled with innocence and vulnerability, he knew he could not abandon him to such a fate. With a heavy heart, Kofi scooped up the child and carried him back to his village, where he and his wife, Amma, welcomed the albino prince into their home. Despite the villagers' superstitions and offers of wealth for the child, Kofi and Amma chose to raise him as their own, shielding him from harm and showering him with love. Months passed and Amma gave birth to a beautiful daughter named Nanama, who became a little sister to the child, and even after Kofi and Amma had their own child they never treated the prince differently. As the years passed, the albino prince, named Kwame, grew into a strong and compassionate young man. Though he faced prejudice and discrimination from some in the village, at several occasions he was pursued by kidnappers who sought to use him for ritual, but grace found him and was never caught. This made Kwame so isolated and scared of going out, so he found solace in the love of his adoptive parents and only sister Nanama, who he loved and protected with his life. Kwame possessed a unique gift: the ability to see into the future. For even as a child he often warned his adoptive parent what to do and what not to do, and whenever they ignored him, his prophecy comes to pass. So with time Kofi and Amma realized that their son was destined for greatness and never jokes with his words. Amma boasted a lot about his son's ability to see the future, and her friends in doubt all came to confirm the news, and they all left in awe of Kwame's gift. Soon word of Kwame's gift spread throughout the kingdom, and soon he was sought after by kings and nobles from far and wide. But despite the offers of wealth and power, Kwame remained humble and true to his roots, using his gift to help those in need and bring about positive change wherever he went. Meanwhile, Malik, Kwame's biological father, the king of Arara, was dethroned and banished out of the kingdom. As fate may have it, he also stumbled his way to the same kingdom where his son Kwame was. He began working in different farms to make ends meet. He had fallen into a deep depression following Nala's death, the loss of his son and the loss of the throne of his forefathers. Finding work as a farmhand, Malik toiled under the sun, his hands calloused but his spirit unbroken. Little did he know that fate had a surprise in store for him, as his lost son, Kwame, roamed the same kingdom, unaware of his father's presence. One fateful day, as Kwame found himself pursued by a group of menacing men, Malik, hidden in the shadows, witnessed the unfolding drama. Driven by instinct and a sense of duty, Malik sprang into action, confronting the attackers and rescuing Kwame from harms. Though Kwame remained oblivious to the true identity of his savior, he expressed his gratitude to the stranger who had come to his aid, offered to take him home as he looked tired and exhausted, but Malik refused and told him to go home. Unbeknownst to them both, a bond was forming, woven by the threads of destiny and the ties of blood. As days turned into weeks, Kwame found himself plagued by fear and uncertainty, unable to shake off the shadows of danger that lurked in the corners of his mind. Sensing his distress, Kwame's sister, Nanama, offered words of comfort and reassurance, reminding him of the wisdom of the gods and the mysteries of fate. Despite Nanama's efforts to lift his spirits, Kwame remained troubled by his inability to see into his own future or uncover the secrets of his past. Yet, in the midst of his turmoil, a message arrived from the gods in his spirit, sending him to the palace of King Aziz, ruler of the kingdom where he was raised. King Aziz was set to travel to a neighboring village. Sensing impending danger, Kwame approached him and warned him of an ambush planned by someone close to him. He instructed the king to send his most powerful guide to dress like him and continue the journey while he stopped somewhere safe to observe. Following Kwame's advice, the king's warriors were indeed attacked, targeting the decoy dressed like the king. Thanks to their strength and skill, they overpowered the attackers and captured them. Under interrogation, the attackers confessed that the queen herself had orchestrated the assassination attempt. Shocked and heartbroken, the king confronted his wife, who confessed her hatred for him. She revealed that her animosity stemmed from her father's death, which she blamed on the king's father during a war between their villages. Kwame inadvertently saved the king's life, earning the king's gratitude. King Aziz asked Kwame to say one thing he wants and it will be granted. Kwame recalled the face of the man who had once saved him, and he implored King Aziz to seek out his mysterious benefactor and reward him for his bravery. With the king's blessing, Kwame embarked on a quest to find the man who had changed the course of his destiny. After a thorough search, Malik was brought before the king, his origins shrouded in mystery but his heart filled with courage and humility. Recognizing Malik's bravery and selflessness, King Aziz bestowed upon him a new life of comfort and security within the kingdom. As Malik and Kwame's paths crossed once more, a bond formed between them, forged by shared experiences. Meanwhile, in the kingdom of Arara, a year after the misfortune that King Malik and his family experienced, the curse Queen Nala placed unfolded as women across the kingdom began birthing albino babies. Each woman was buried, babies thrown into the forest, and families were torn apart. The once thriving village dwindled as fear gripped its inhabitants, stopping procreation and banishing kings who fathered albino heirs. As the remaining adults aged, whispers of dissent grew louder. Some called for an end to the evil tradition, while others clung to fear of divine retribution. Amidst the turmoil, Prince Kwame had a prophetic dream of a man and woman playing with him, and the man calling him, "My son." He vividly saw Malik's face and Nala his mother. Nala revealed his identity to him in the dream. She asked him to confirm the truth from his father Malik and that both him and his father should return back to Arara and save it from going into extinction. Kwame woke up from the encounter shocked and bewildered. He turned to his adoptive father, Kofi, who revealed the secrets of his past and urged him to confront Malik with the truth of his dreams. Kofi went with Kwame as he confronted Malik, who, after hearing him out, broke into tears. He narrated his story and reconciled with his son. King Malik's spirit became lifted as he appreciated Kofi and his wife for caring for his son. Malik with boldness was set to leave for Arara. He met King Aziz and revealed his true identity, narrating his story in pain. King Aziz comforted him and supported his journey with gifts and guards to protect them. And so, under the watchful gaze of destiny, Malik and Kwame embarked on a journey of reconciliation and discovery, united by the unbreakable bonds of family. They arrived the land of Arara in a grand style. The remaining people of Arara beamed with confusion and fear as some recognized King Malik while some didn't. King Malik introduced himself and abolished the tradition and introduced his albino son Kwame, decreeing him as the new king of Arara as he would like to rest while guiding him. Kwame sought allies among those who dared to defy tradition, believing that salvation lay in embracing their shared humanity rather than succumbing to superstition. As the kingdom teetered on the brink of extinction, Kwame's arrival became a beacon of hope, offering a chance for redemption and reconciliation in the face of ancient prejudice. And the kingdom of Arara became a happy place where discrimination became a taboo.